Have you ever woken up and felt a strange tingling in your hands, like your fingers were asleep, even though you weren't? Or maybe your legs feel heavy, like they've lost some of their strength, and just standing up feels harder than it used to? And here's the thing, you try to shrug it off. It's probably just age, you tell yourself. I must have slept funny. Maybe I'm just tired today. You carry on with your day, brushing it aside, hoping it goes away. But deep down, something feels off. Not scary, not urgent, but quietly unsettling. Like your body's whispering to you, and you're not sure what it's trying to say. What if that whisper isn't just age? What if your body is actually asking for something it's not getting anymore? Because the truth is, as we grow older, our bodies start losing something incredibly important. Not overnight, not all at once, but slowly, subtly. It's called collagen. And it's not just for skin or wrinkles, no. Collagen is the scaffolding that holds your joints together. It cushions your knees, supports your spine, feeds your muscles, and even protects your nerves. So when collagen begins to drop off after 60, you feel it in the way your hands grip a coffee mug, in the ache in your hips after a walk, in the weird pins and needles that show up for no reason at all. But here's the part most people don't know. You don't have to sit back and let it happen. There are simple, natural, everyday foods that are rich in collagen, and adding them to your routine can actually help you regain what time has quietly taken away. This video isn't about selling you supplements or miracle cures. It's about real food, real results, and real stories from people who've started feeling better, more stable, stronger, and more alive by making just a few easy changes to what's on their plate. So if you or someone you love is over 60, and you felt those little signs, tingling, weakness, stiffness, pain, please stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know 8 powerful collagen-rich foods that can support your joints, soothe your nerves, and maybe even bring some strength and sensation back where it's been missing. And if you've ever felt like your body's been slowing down too fast, or you've worried about a parent or partner who just doesn't move the way they used to, this is for you. We're diving deep into senior health today. So get comfy, grab a cup of tea, and let's take this one step at a time together. And hey, if you're over 60 or you're caring for someone who is, I want to hear from you. Comment stronger every day below. Let's show each other that we're not just growing older, we're growing wiser. And stronger too. Oh, and if you want more real health tips, honest advice, and gentle support for your journey, hit that subscribe button right now and join the Elderly Care family. Ready to feel stronger, steadier, and more in control again? Let's get into it. Now let's start with something so humble, so ordinary that most people overlook it completely. Bone broth. Picture this for a moment. Your grandfather, years ago, walking tall through the neighborhood. He never needed help. He carried groceries in one hand, your hand in the other. But lately, he groans when getting out of his chair. He sits longer, walks less, and when he stands, it's slow. Like gravity's pulling harder than it used to. And the family? They notice. They say things like, he's just getting older. But what if his body isn't just aging? What if it's missing something it once had plenty of? Now imagine handing him a warm, savory cup of bone broth. It's simple, nothing fancy. But here's the truth. What's inside that cup could be exactly what his body is quietly begging for. Bone broth is more than soup. It's a rich source of collagen, the very protein that holds your joints together, keeps cartilage strong, and feeds the connective tissue that supports your every step. It's packed with glucosamine and gelatin, 2 natural compounds that lubricate your joints and help reduce the grinding and stiffness that come with age. And those tingling hands, that slow shuffle across the floor, nerve health is deeply tied to the integrity of your connective tissue. When collagen breaks down, so does the protection around your nerves. That's why something as basic as bone broth can play a powerful role in rebuilding what age has worn down. But here's the thing. So many people hear the word bone broth and they think of something old-fashioned, a folk remedy from another era, a pot on grandma's stove that took all day to simmer. And yes, it is old, but old doesn't mean outdated. In fact, modern science has caught up to what tradition always knew. This stuff works. Studies now show that regularly drinking bone broth can reduce joint pain improve skin elasticity, and support nerve function. It's not magic, it's biology. You're simply giving your body the raw materials it needs to rebuild from the inside out. And you don't need to turn your kitchen into a science lab, either. Start small. Add a warm cup to your lunch. Sip it in the evening instead of tea. Use it as a base for soups or stews. You can even buy it ready-made. Just look for high-quality, organic options with no additives. One serving a day can begin to restore what's been quietly slipping away for years. It's gentle. It's natural. And for some people, it's the difference between struggling to stand and standing tall. So before you write off those aches, that stiffness, that numbness, ask yourself, have you tried giving your body what it's missing? Because sometimes healing doesn't start with a pill. Sometimes it starts with a warm bowl, a quiet moment, and a simple habit. And bone broth? That's just the beginning. Up next, we're diving into a tiny fish with massive benefits, especially for your bones, your heart, and those muscles that feel a little weaker than they used to. Let's talk about something small but mighty. Sardines. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Sardines? Really? That tiny, salty fish most people pass by at the grocery store? But stay with me here, because these little fish can carry a big punch when it comes to helping your body feel alive again. There's a woman I know, quiet, soft-spoken, in her late 60s. She used to love gardening. Her hands were always in the dirt, always creating life. But then, she started getting cramps in her feet. Her grip weakened. She couldn't hold the pruning shears for more than a minute. It broke her heart, not being able to do what she loved. Then her daughter, who's a nutritionist, suggested something simple. Sardines, twice a week. She wrinkled her nose at first, said she hadn't touched sardines since childhood. But she gave it a try, and a month later, less cramping, less shaking, more strength in her hands. She was back in the garden, slowly but surely. Here's why it worked. Sardines are absolutely packed with collagen. Not the kind in powders or pills, but real, natural collagen your body can absorb. On top of that, they're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. And those omega-3s? They help reduce inflammation around the nerves and joints. Key when it comes to things like tingling, numbness, and weakness in your limbs. And let's not forget calcium, because sardines are eaten whole, bones and all. They're one of the most absorbable sources of calcium you can get. That's crucial for keeping your bones dense, your spine strong, and your posture steady. But still, most people skip sardines. Why? Because of the smell, the taste, that strong, ocean-wide flavor that turns people away. But here's the truth. Once you find the right way to enjoy them, they're not just tolerable, they're delicious. And your body will thank you. Try this. Mash them up with a little bit of olive oil and fresh lemon juice. Spread that on whole grain toast. Top with sliced tomato or avocado. Or mix them into a light salad with greens, olives, and herbs. Just twice a week. That's all it takes. It's not about forcing down food you hate. It's about learning how to love the foods that love you back. So if your hands have been weak, or your feet keep cramping, or you're tired of feeling like your body is aging faster than your spirit, give sardines a chance. They're small, but they just might be the boost your nerves and muscles have been waiting for. And remember, this is about building strength from the inside out. Up next, we're looking at something familiar, comforting even, but too often thrown away. Something crispy, delicious, and full of healing power. Let's go back, just for a moment, to a Sunday afternoon. The smell of roast chicken drifting from the kitchen, the soft clatter of plates being set, maybe the sound of laughter, or the quiet joy of being gathered with family. It's a comforting memory, isn't it? But what if I told you that your Sunday roast could do more than just warm your heart? What if it could actually help rebuild your joints? Now, I want you to think about the part most people scrape off or toss away without a second thought. The chicken skin, that golden, crispy layer that crunches when you bite into it. For years, we were told to avoid it. Too fatty, too greasy, bad for the heart. And yes, like anything, it should be eaten in moderation. But buried underneath all that fear was something incredibly powerful. Chicken skin is one of the richest natural sources of type 2 collagen, the very form of collagen your body uses to protect and cushion your joints. It lines the cartilage in your knees, your shoulders, your hips, every place you bend, stretch, or stand. And as you age, that cushion wears down. That's why your joints ache when the weather changes. Why stairs start to feel steeper. Why even standing still can sometimes be painful. But by eating chicken skin, carefully prepared, in reasonable portions, you're giving your body the building blocks it needs to replenish that lost support. Type 2 collagen is especially important because it's hard to find in plant-based foods or supplements. You don't get it from kale or protein powders. It comes from the connective tissue in animal skin and cartilage. And chicken skin? It's one of the most efficient, natural sources there is. But still, people skip it. Why? Because we've been taught to fear fat. But not all fats are the same. Chicken skin, especially from organic, free-range birds, is high in monounsaturated fat. That's the good kind. The kind that helps reduce inflammation and supports nerve function. So here's what you can do. Next time you're roasting a chicken, leave the skin on. Bake it until it's golden and crispy. Let it curl up slightly at the edges. That satisfying crunch? That's more than flavor. It's nutrition your joints have been craving. You can even save the extra skin, crisp it in a pan, and crumble it over a salad. Or chop it up and stir it into a vegetable dish. A little goes a long way. And your knees, your hips, your spine, they'll feel the difference over time. This isn't about indulging in greasy food. This is about reclaiming an old, forgotten source of healing and using it wisely. Because sometimes the best medicine isn't found in a bottle. It's found in the forgotten parts of the meals we already love. And chicken skin, it's not just flavor, it's function. Now, from the Sunday dinner table, let's move to the breakfast plate. Up next is something you've likely eaten thousands of times, but never realized how much it's been doing for your body. Let's talk about something simple, familiar, something you've probably had for breakfast more times than you can count. Eggs. Now, there's a man I remember. Early 60s, kind soul, used to fix watches for a living. His fingers were everything to him. But over the years, they started to feel off. Tingling, slightly numb, like the feeling you get when your hand falls asleep, but it wouldn't go away. He thought maybe it was arthritis, maybe nerve damage. Doctors didn't have much to say, except it's just part of aging. But someone suggested he try something surprisingly simple. Eat 1 or 2 eggs a day. Whole eggs, not just the whites. And cook them gently, soft-boiled or poached. He didn't expect much, but within a few weeks, the tingling faded. His grip returned, not completely, but enough that he could button his shirt again without fumbling. Enough that he could hold a fork steady. So what changed? It's what's inside the egg that matters. Eggs are packed with essential amino acids, lysine and proline, 2 of the critical components your body needs to create and maintain collagen. And collagen, as we've been learning, is more than a beauty word. It's what supports your joints, your nerves, your skin, your tendons. Without it, things fall apart slowly and sometimes painfully. But there's something else, something hardly anyone talks about. The membrane inside the eggshell, that thin, filmy layer you see when you peel a hard-boiled egg, that's collagen-rich tissue. And when you eat your eggs softly cooked, poached, or soft-boiled, that membrane stays mostly intact. It becomes part of your nutrition, silently doing its job, helping rebuild the foundation of your body. But here's the kicker. Too many people still toss out the yolk. They think it's the bad part. Too much cholesterol, too fatty. But the truth is, that's where most of the nutrients live. That's where the vitamins, the healthy fats, and the enzymes that help with collagen absorption are found. Without the yolk, you're only getting half the story, and your body feels it. So if you want to make this simple shift, here's what to do. Go back to basics. Start your day with a soft-boiled egg. Let it be warm and whole. Don't overcook it. Eat it with a slice of whole grain toast or a few berries on the side. It's not fancy, but it's nourishing. And the difference it can make in your hands, your skin, even the way you feel when you walk, it's real. It's gentle, but real. Sometimes the answers aren't complicated. They're just overlooked. Eggs are more than breakfast. They're a quiet ally in your fight against aging from the inside out. And from the kitchen table, let's move outside to the garden, to something sweet, colorful, and packed with powerful support for your body's natural healing. Now, imagine this: a woman in her 70s, recently widowed. She's not looking for miracles, just some sense of steadiness again. Physically, emotionally, she misses her walks through the garden, but lately, even walking from the living room to the kitchen feels uncertain. Her balance is off. Her legs don't feel like her own, but she makes a quiet promise to herself. Each morning, before anything else, she fills a small bowl with berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, whatever she has. It's simple. She eats them slowly, like a ritual. No ruse, no fanfare. And after a few weeks, something begins to shift. She notices she's standing longer at the sink. She's steadier walking to the mailbox. Her hands don't shake as much. She doesn't know if it's the berries, the routine, or just hope, but her body feels more alive. There's a reason for that. Berries, especially the deeply colored ones, are packed with vitamin C, one of the most essential nutrients for collagen production. See, collagen doesn't just form on its own. Your body needs raw ingredients to build it, and vitamin C is one of the most powerful tools in that process. Without it, your body struggles to repair skin, tendons, ligaments, even blood vessels. And then there's the inflammation, the swelling in joints, the stiffness in the morning. Berries are also rich in antioxidants, tiny compounds that fight the stress and damage caused by time, poor diet, even environmental toxins. These antioxidants help reduce inflammation, especially in the soft tissue around your nerves and joints. Now, some folks hear the word fruit and get nervous. They've been told sugar is the enemy. And yes, too much sugar, especially the processed kind, is harmful. But the natural sugars in berries are balanced with fiber, water, vitamins, and compounds that your body recognizes and uses. So no, berries aren't the enemy. In fact, they may be one of your strongest allies. You don't need to go overboard. A small bowl a day is enough. You can stir them into yogurt, mix them into oatmeal, or just enjoy them plain, fresh or frozen. They don't need to be fancy to be effective. It's about consistency. It's about saying yes to the things that nourish you. Quietly, gently, in the background of your life. And if you're someone who's felt unsteady lately, if you've hesitated to take that walk, or you found yourself reaching for furniture just to feel safe, try starting your day with a few berries. It's a small act of care that could ripple into something bigger. Because sometimes strength begins not in the muscles, but in the choices we make for our bodies. From the garden's gift of berries, we move now to something you won't find in nature raw, but has been used for centuries in kitchens across the world. It's soft, subtle, and full of restorative power. Let's talk about gelatin. Her grandson couldn't quite put his finger on it at first, but something had changed. Grandma was moving more easily. She wasn't clinging to the armrest before standing up. Her steps were slower, sure, but steadier. There was less wincing when she got out of her chair, less stiffness in the mornings. He thought maybe she'd started physical therapy, or maybe a new medication. But when he asked, she smiled and held up a small tin. It was gelatin. Every morning, just one scoop stirred into her smoothie. No fanfare, no dramatic change overnight. But over time, the difference became unmistakable. And here's why. Gelatin is collagen. More specifically, it's collagen that's been gently cooked down, making it easier for your body to absorb and put to use. When you consume gelatin, you're giving your body those long, tangled chains of amino acids it needs to rebuild the very fabric of your joints, skin, and connective tissue. We're talking about the stuff that keeps your knees bending smoothly, that lets your fingers wrap around a doorknob without pain, that cushions your spine when you sit, stand, or shift. And when collagen breaks down through aging, stress, or illness, you feel it. Every little movement becomes just a bit harder, just a bit slower, just a bit more painful. Gelatin helps stitch those fibers back together. Now, here's the part most people get wrong. They think gelatin is just for Jell-O, just for sugary desserts, wobbly molds, or birthday party snacks. But that's not the kind of gelatin we're talking about here. We're talking about unflavored, pure gelatin. The kind you can stir into hot drinks, blend into smoothies, or mix into soups without tasting it at all. It disappears into your food completely and quietly goes to work. And the best part? It doesn't take much. Just one spoonful a day. You can stir it into your tea or morning coffee. Add it to oatmeal. Or like grandma, drop it into your fruit smoothie. You won't see it. You won't taste it. But your body will know. Over time, your joints may feel more flexible. Your skin a little firmer. Your movements a little more confident. It's one of those small, gentle habits that becomes a quiet act of self-respect. Because you're not giving up on your body. You're giving it what it needs to keep moving, keep living, keep doing the things you love. From the kitchen to the garden to the cup in your hands, every one of these foods is part of a bigger picture. And next, we're heading into something green, vibrant, and full of life. Something that doesn't look like collagen, but helps your body make more of it than you might think. Let's explore the quiet strength of leafy greens. There's a retired couple I think about often. They weren't chasing youth or trying to turn back the clock. They just wanted to feel a little stronger, a little straighter. They'd always prided themselves on walking together, hand in hand. But lately their backs were rounding, shoulders slumping, steps slowing. Then one day, almost on a whim, they started a new habit. Every morning, they blended up a smoothie, handful of frozen fruit, splash of almond milk, and a small pile of fresh leafy greens. Spinach mostly, sometimes kale. They didn't expect much, just wanted to feel a bit cleaner inside. But a few weeks in, something happened. They were standing taller, sitting longer without back pain. Their posture, something they hadn't even thought about, was visibly better. Not dramatic, but real. Here's why. Leafy greens are quiet builders. They're not flashy. They don't come in a bottle or with a promise. But inside those leaves, especially the dark ones like spinach, Swiss chard, and kale, is a powerful pigment called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll doesn't contain collagen itself, but it helps your body make it. It supports the enzymes and processes your body relies on to produce collagen naturally. And beyond that, it helps detoxify connective tissue, cleaning out some of the waste and inflammation that slows collagen production down in the first place. So when you eat leafy greens regularly, you're not just getting fiber and vitamins. You're creating the conditions your body needs to rebuild. But there's a problem. Most people skip greens. Why? They think they're bitter, hard to digest, too much effort to cook. And yes, some greens are tough when raw, but there's a way to make them work for you without even tasting them. Blend them. That's it. Add a handful of baby spinach to your morning smoothie. Mix it with banana, some berries, a bit of yogurt or nut milk. You'll barely notice it. The flavor disappears, but the benefits don't. You don't have to chew through bowls of salad. You don't have to force it. Just start adding small amounts. Consistently, gently, because your spine, your shoulders, your joints, every part of you that holds you upright is asking for support. And leafy greens quietly give it. They're not a miracle. They're a maintenance plan. A reminder that strength doesn't always come from something new. It often comes from something ancient. And speaking of ancient, next, we turn to one of nature's oldest gifts. Bright, zesty, refreshing, packed with something that's absolutely essential for collagen to work at all. Let's talk about citrus. There was a man down in Florida, retired, living a quiet life near the coast. Most mornings, he'd sit out on his porch, reading the paper, watching the sun rise over the palms. But lately, his hands had started to betray him. A strange tingling, a numbness in his fingertips like they were losing touch, slowly, quietly. He'd seen doctors, heard the usual circulation, nerves, aging. Nothing urgent, but nothing hopeful either. Then one morning, almost absent-mindedly, he added a few orange slices to his breakfast. Just something cool and refreshing to go with his toast. And he kept doing it. Day after day. A simple habit. Weeks passed, and without even noticing it at first, the tingling faded. His hands felt clearer, stronger, like something inside him had started to reconnect. That's the power of citrus. You see, oranges, lemons, grapefruits, these aren't just refreshing. They're packed with vitamin C, which plays a critical role in collagen production. Not just a small role, a necessary one. Without vitamin C, your body can't activate the enzymes that build and maintain collagen. It's like trying to build a house without tools. You might have the materials, but you can't put anything together. And citrus does more than that. It helps reduce oxidative stress, the slow, damaging process caused by time, pollution, and inflammation. That stress wears down your joints and nerves. But vitamin C helps fight back. It protects, it repairs, and it primes your body to rebuild what's been lost. But here's the catch. Some seniors avoid citrus. They're told it might cause heartburn or acid reflux. And while that could be true in large amounts, in moderate, daily doses, citrus can actually aid digestion, brighten appetite, and refresh your system. The trick is balance. Gentle portions. Not a whole pitcher of orange juice, but a few fresh slices. A squeeze of lemon over fish or greens. A bit of grapefruit with breakfast. These small touches go a long way. And it's not just about the nutrients. There's something emotional about citrus, too. The scent, the brightness, the color. It wakes you up, reminds you that the day has potential, that you're still in it, that your body, even in its later chapters, still responds to care. So if your hands feel distant, if your skin feels thin, or your joints stiff, or you're just tired of feeling like your body is on pause, try citrus. Not as a cure, but as a gesture. A little gift to your body each day that says, I still believe in you. And now that we've reached the end of our list, 8 foods, 8 powerful allies, it's time to bring it all together. Let's talk heart to heart for a moment about what all this really means. Not just in your body, but in your life. Let's move into something deeper, the emotional core of why this matters. It's not easy. It's not easy to watch someone you love struggle to stand, to see them wince when they bend down or stumble when they rise from a chair. It's not easy to watch hands once steady and sure begin to tremble, or to hear them say, I'm fine, even when you can see that they're not. And it's not easy when it's you, when you feel your own body changing in quiet, frustrating ways, when you can't quite hold a coffee cup the way you used to, when your legs feel heavier, when your joints whisper with every step. But here's the truth that no one says out loud often enough. You are not powerless. You're not just aging. You're adapting. You're evolving. And now you have knowledge, because those 8 foods, they're not just items on a grocery list. They're tools. Tools your body understands. Tools that help you repair what time has slowly thinned. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. But what if just once this week you swap something out? What if you added bone broth to lunch? Stirred a spoonful of gelatin into your tea? Tossed a handful of berries into your breakfast? These aren't big changes. They're gentle changes. But gentle changes, repeated with care, can shift the course of your life. You are not chasing youth. You are protecting vitality. You're choosing to feel stronger, move freer, live with more ease. Not because you fear getting older, but because you respect this body that's carried you so far. So take a look in your fridge today. Just a glance. Ask yourself not what's missing, but what can I add that honors where I'm at and where I want to go? Because healing isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It comes in quiet choices. It comes in moments. It comes in deciding that your well-being is worth that little extra attention. And if you're feeling behind, please don't. It's never too late. Never too late to choose foods that strengthen instead of strip, that restore instead of weaken, that remind your body you're still here and you still matter. This isn't about fear. It's about love. Love for the life you've lived. Love for the days still to come. And love for the people around you. Those who want to see you move with less pain, smile with more ease, and feel more like yourself again. So take this knowledge, not as pressure, but as power. Because you're not alone. You got a whole community behind you. And small steps, they do add up. Every meal, every choice, every day you decide to care a little more, it all counts. And you, my friend, are absolutely worth it. So let's take a moment to breathe and bring it all together. We've covered 8 simple, powerful foods, each one with the potential to nourish your body from the inside out. Bone broth, rich and soothing, supporting your joints and nerves. Sardines, small but mighty, full of omega-3s and real collagen. Crispy chicken skin, with its often overlooked gift of type 2 collagen. Eggs, humble and familiar, giving your body the amino acids it needs to rebuild. We talked about berries, bright, sweet, packed with vitamin C and healing antioxidants. Gelatin, soft and silent, but deeply restorative. Leafy greens that feed your cells with chlorophyll and lay the groundwork for natural collagen creation. And citrus, nature's spark, helping activate your body's ability to heal and protect. All of them working together to ease the symptoms so many of us know too well. Tingling in the hands, weakness in the legs, the slow erosion of strength and ease we once took for granted. You don't need all 8 at once. You don't need perfection. You just need to start. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you already tried one of these foods and felt a difference? Do you have a favorite way to prepare them? Or maybe a remedy passed down through your family that's helped you or a loved one feel stronger? Share your story in the comments below. I read every one. This isn't just a channel, it's a community. And your experience might be the message someone else needs to hear. And if today's video brought you value, if it helped you feel just a little more hopeful, a little more empowered, consider subscribing to Elderly Care. We're here every week, offering honest, simple, deeply thoughtful tips to support the journey of aging with grace, dignity, and strength. Because you deserve more than just information. You deserve care. You deserve clarity. You deserve to feel supported every step of the way. So from my heart to yours, thank you for being here today. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to learn, to care for yourself or someone you love. Stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.